Hey there and welcome. I have an exciting interview for you today. My name is Dr. Angela Lauria. I am the author incubator, and I am here today with Coach Paula Grooms. I can't just call you Paula Grooms. You are always Coach Paula to me. Paula is the author of Why Won't He Commit? How a Man Decides to Make You the One. I love sharing this message because I think it's so, I remember thinking, like, I just want to be chosen. I want somebody to pick me. Like, why can't they see how fabulous I am? And I would try and convince, like, by being, like, we can have so much fun together. We're going to have lots of fun. I'm going to text you 100 times to tell you how much fun we're going to have. So why won't he commit? That's the question I think so many people need to answer, want to answer. Why did you write this book, and what's the fundamental message you want to share here?
That's a good question. As a dating and relationship coach, one of the greatest sources of heartbreak, pain, frustration, I would see for all of my female clients, came from their inability to understand how differently men love, commit, and bond. Because they're very, very different for men and women. And once women could kind of understand, and in my book, what I do is relate it to an experience that women have had themselves. And when they can have that experience, like really have that experience and say, oh, that's what it's like for men.
What do you mean related to an experience women have had themselves?
It's called in the book, the third chapter starts with what I call my puppy principle.
Okay.
This
is like we're getting a puppy?
Well, here's the thing. If I were to ask you to take care of my puppy every weekend for a year while I was taking care of my sick grandmother, right? You would enjoy that puppy. You would love him or her, right? You would take her every weekend, take her around and show her around to your friends and family and show her off and love her to death, right?
Yeah.
And you'd sleep with her, perhaps, right? Sleep with him, her. And if I came after the year and said, Angela, I'm sorry, I have to live with my grandmother permanently, and where she lives in the assisted living, we can't have any animals. So I'm going to give you the puppy. And you say, wait a minute. I didn't commit to this. I thought I was just hanging out and having fun.
Are you going to pay for the food? Are you going to pay for the vet bill?
Right.
So you get ready.
Yes, right. And if I say to you, but you love him, don't you? And you say, yeah, I do. I say, you've been sleeping with him every weekend for the last year?
He's a good snuggler.
Yeah, I love that too. But I'm not ready, willing, or able to commit to him right now because of X, Y, and Z in my life. And I go further in that I have a test for the states of men's being. Because for women who bond through time and sex, you're committed after however long, right? Because you commit
5 minutes for me.
Through your feelings.
Yeah.
Right. But men don't commit or bond through through time or sex. They only commit when the time is right for them, according to a set of criteria I outline in the book. And then
nobody tells us this. I tried to convince people. How about now?
Right. No amount of convincing. And the other thing I hit on in the book, which I really want women to know, is that just like we love all the puppies, whether it's a Shih Tzu or a sheepdog, they're all cute, they're all lovable, whether it's big, small, tall, thin, hefty, we love them all. Men love us all.
Well, that's encouraging news.
They love us all, yes.
They just don't necessarily want to keep us. They just want to visit for the weekend.
Absolutely.
I know those guys.
There you go. So my book's about that.
So why do you think people don't know this? Like, I think I was going to ask you what's the biggest mistake women make when they're dating, but I feel like my biggest, like, why do I do the same thing for so long?
You know why? Because we are, I call it my 3 C's of women, 3 C's of men.
Okay, give it to me.
The 3 C's of women. We're about cooperating, connecting, and caretaking.
Love all of it.
Right? Men. Challenge, competition, conquering. Those things are right? They don't go. So this is what I mean about women understanding how men love and how men commit, because it's very different. We want to connect and we can love immediately and bond. Time, sex, we're bonded. He's not. Time and sex have nothing to do with his bonding. Just like I gave you the puppy for a year, right?
Right.
You would think, well, after a year,
you
love him, right? But you love him. You're just not going to commit to him and take responsibility for him, because women view love as a natural outgrowth of, commitment as a natural outgrowth of love.
Yeah.
Men view commitment as a responsibility.
Well, that doesn't sound as fun when you say it that way.
Well, it's not as fun for men to commit, right? In terms of that, because they're not doing it just out of love. They have to feel and they have to love to a degree, but they have to be ready and willing at a time, just like when you're ready to go out and adopt a puppy, right? You know you'll find a cute one. It's the right time. You've got your finances in order. You're ready to go. Your career's ready. You got your place. You're all set up. Good to go, right?
Yep.
Well, that's what it's like for him as well. Doesn't mean he doesn't love you. It means he's not ready.
So do we just have to settle for then we don't get to be with that guy?
Well, that's what's interesting. I have my, I call it my consumer versus buyer relationship.
Okay.
And I outline in the book, and I've got my...
I like shopping metaphors. So now we have a puppy metaphor, right? A shopping metaphor. Yeah. I'm in.
There's one more in there, but I won't go into it. But the consumer versus buyer, you can take a test and see where your man is on the scale of being ready, willing, and able to commit to you out of the criteria that is set up. So the test you can get on my website.
How do we do that? Yeah, where do we go?
CoachPaulaGrooms.com is the test.
I knew it would be Coach Paula. Coach Paula Grooms. Did you ever think about your last name?
It's so interesting, isn't that? I just thought about that the other day.
Really?
That my name is Grooms, and that's wedding
what you
related.
Do, you make grooms. So how do people, I just need to know, because I feel like this information really is not out there in the way people need it. So they're just signing up for Tinder, they're signing up for OkCupid, they're going to another speed dating, they're asking their friends to set them up, they're mad at their friends for not setting them up, then they're mad at their friends when they set them up because they set them up with somebody who's too old or too fat or too something or other. So how do people work with you? And what I mean by that isn't how do they find you, but like what do you fix? Can I just send the guy that I like to you and you talk to him and then you tell him, hey, she's awesome?
No, that's the beauty.
That's what we want you to do.
That's the beauty is that I'm a rules coach, and women may know, and Sherry Schneider and Ellen Fine of The Rules wrote my foreword.
Love that.
And I became a coach for them after, my own. Every woman has been through.
How long have you been a rules coach?
I've only been a rules coach for about, actually 2 years.
2 years, okay.
Yes, but all of my life has been coming
it resonated.
Right. And I got married. I did not know I was doing the rules by how I was relating to him, and that's key. And men are it's almost a science. If you do it correctly from the very beginning, you can easily, through the rules, make something happen. Not do it correctly, you've got an uphill battle. It can be with certain strategies.
We can turn around some situations.
Yes, absolutely. But it takes time. It takes patience.
So is your favorite to work with people like from the beginning, like before they're even dating someone?
Actually, I work with women. Most women find me when they're in the throes of why
won't
he
he commit? Exactly.
Yes, because I've spent X amount of time. Why isn't he going to adopt me after a year of spending weekends with me or whatever it is, right?
Exactly.
Right. So I work with the strategies, a la the rules, that allow him to get to that level through his need to achieve.
Okay, I could talk about this all day, but I have one last question. Bust a myth for me about the rules. I know that there are a lot of people who feel like the rules are, I'll say, playing head games or maybe like almost cheating in a way or trying to trick a man.
Yes.
So why is that not true? Tell me why.
I love that question.
Yeah.
I love it. Because when a woman does the rules, It allows a man to love deeply in a way that he needs to be challenged and his need to achieve is fulfilled, and that's how he loves. The book is all about him. The way he loves is very different than the way we love. And the rules, by doing them, allow him to fall in the deepest way possible.
See, this is the thing, ladies, listen to me, because I have learned so much from Coach Paula and her book. When you want to, you're thinking you want to convince this guy to be with you because you know how happy you can make him. This is the way to do that. You get to make him happy in all the ways you thought you could, but it just looks a little different.
Yes.
But it is a gift. If you are
It is
someone
a
who's
gift.
generous, if you are someone who's a caretaker,
Mhm.
there is a way to do this. But you really do need a coach because this stuff is counterintuitive.
You got it. You
Completely
got it.
whatever you want to do, either
do that.
get a coach or don't do anything you want to do. That's all I got for you.
Exactly. Yes.
All right, I know we shared it before, but one more time, hit people with your website if they want to track you down.
CoachPaulagrooms.com, and my book is on Amazon.
Terrific. Why won't he commit on Amazon? If you were wondering why he won't commit, you are crazy not to get this book. You got to get it. So good. Thank you, Paula.
Thanks.